have ranking points for Wimbledon?
Well, basically, I feel like it's a pretty tricky situation, and every solution is going to be somehow wrong one for some part of people or players. So I feel like it's been a hard couple of weeks when we were also taking part of discussion, and I felt like there's some responsibility on us in terms of that. But I feel like it shouldn't be like that, because the problem is, I think that governing the bodies that are organizing the tournaments and WTA, ATP, ITF, they all have different opinions. So it's for us, it's a tricky one, honestly, because that's. Yeah, I mean, on one point, that sport has always been used in politics. On the other, you want to, I don't know, make the situation that it's going to be equal for every player, but it's a hard one, and I just hope that the people that are responsible for making the decisions, they're all going to come together, so our sport is going to be united, because for now I feel like it's not united. It's all the people who are organizing tournaments, like for Wimbledon, for example, WTA, ATP, and ITF, they all have like separate views, and it's not joint. So it's also, we feel that in the locker room a little bit, so it's pretty hard.
And for yourself, mindset-wise?
Well, I've never really had a situation when I'll play without points, and I don't really know how I'm going to react, but I think when I'm going to step out on court, it's going to be normal for me, because I don't really, I don't mind points, I already have so much points this season that really, it's going to be fine for me. I'm okay with playing without points. I'm okay with playing with points, but for me it's more the political side of things, because Poland is supporting Ukrainians, and the war is right next to my country. So basically, it's harder on me from that perspective. I don't really mind about points. For me, it's Wimbledon for sure. It's one of the most important tournaments in the season, but there is war going on, so I look at it more from that way than what's going to happen on rankings.
And can you imagine what it would be like to never lose again?
I'm pretty sure that I am gonna lose at some point, so I also want to be ready for that, and be aware that there are many players out there who can play great tennis and who are really dangerous. So that kind of mindset, it's not possible for me, honestly, because I still remember how it was basically losing on most of tournaments and being disappointed because you can play better, but for me it's just I want to focus on the things that I've been focusing before, and even before the streak, because I've been doing pretty good job at that, and I think it's going to help me to stay really composed and focus on the things that I'm supposed to focus. So for sure the support from the fans is extraordinary, and it's great, and I love it, but I want to stay the same, and keep my routines.
There you go.
And also, sorry, when was the last time you looked at your own Wikipedia page?
That's true. But, even though I'm not looking there, I know the stats are going to be there, so I want to work on that as well. But, we are talking a lot, honestly, and sometimes we share the same views, and it's a new situation for me, because we've never had a case where we actually had such a strong discussion. So I feel also like the players are we don't know exactly what should we do with that, because that's the first time, and the situation is changing pretty fast. So we all have our tournaments to play, so we want to be focused at that on some point. On the other, the discussion is there, but we don't know how to proceed. So it's pretty tough, because before we were only discussing, I was only discussing some how we change balls during the tournaments. So it doesn't really matter, in life. I mean, for sure it matters, because it would be more convenient, but it's not important matter. So right now it's important, and there is discussion, but we don't really know how to proceed. And maybe, you know, I've been put in that position where we're number one, and also, but still I'm 20, and I have some kind of, I'm split because I don't really know if I should do more or really stay focused, because that's the first time I have a situation like that in my life. So still, I'm gonna see, but we are discussing and we are trying to do something, but something that is also not gonna distract us.
Hey, Iga.
Oh my God, great, thanks. Well, honestly, I was trying to avoid like saying straightforward what I think, because, as I said, every solution is going to be wrong for some people, and there's not a right solution in that situation. It's a hard one, because I also know that, you know, all the Russian and Belarusian players are not kind of responsible on what's going on in their country. But on the other hand, as I said, the sport has been used in politics, and we are kind of public personas, and we have some impact on people, and it would be nice if the people who are making decisions were making decisions that are going to stop Russia's aggression. But yeah, it's a tricky one. I don't know if I can say anymore.
You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I feel like I have that responsibility, but on the other hand, I don't have like much life experience, and I'm aware of that. And yeah, when I'm gonna be ready to say more, I will, and you're gonna see it.
Ben?
Tennis and women's tennis. I'm just curious how this sort of role feels for you, and if you feel like you're suddenly a politician on some level yourself.
Well, yeah, sometimes, but I feel like when I'm doing too much, I'm kind of losing myself to that. So I want to also stay the same, and also really not waste, you know, a lot of energy on things like that. But for sure, last couple of weeks have been really tough in terms of that, and I am finding, you know, the proper balance in between those things, because I feel like I also want to be kind of involved. But on the other hand, I know that when I'm gonna do too much and my tennis is gonna be worse because of that, I'm gonna have, you know, huge regrets. So I'm learning how to balance all that stuff, but I feel like there's more pressure and kind of responsibility. But I also I hope that people are gonna be aware that I'm still 20 and I don't have to make the biggest decisions in our sport.
Any more questions in English?